Hey, long time no see. Maybe. What's on the agenda? You are the cat with the hat. Literary reference verified.
Always up in my business.
Spectaport sure is great for getting around. You can't see me? Today's your lucky day. This stunt challenge has your name written all over it. You got this.
Create obstacles, but with approval. I disagree with the structure. No, why are you... So let me go ahead and just ask you the same question again. Do you agree with people that are standing in the middle of the road to protest ICE? Yeah, it's very simple. Like, I don't know why, like, why answering such a simple question is hard. It's a simple yes or no. There must be a way to create inconvenience. A sign does nothing and creating inconvenience does more. Why don't you just answer the question? Like, I understand you're trying... You are existing inside of a realm of theoreticals and like philosophy. That's nice. But go ahead and just... How do you apply that to real life? Do you think they should be able to stand in the middle of the road or not? It's so simple. Mental gymnastics. Yeah, and I think that really... This is one thing that I find to be very, like, revealing. Is that if you have to do... Oh, let me read it here again. I want ICE to do their job, but I also want to wait for those to disagree to create more immediate results rather than waiting 4 years. Why do you think that you're entitled to immediate results? Why do you think that you're entitled to having your voice heard whenever the last election proved that you were not the majority? Who decided that you get to skip to the front of the line and everybody else has to immediately pay attention to you? Can you imagine the chaos the world would be if everybody thought that? Imagine if everybody thought that because they were unhappy with the way that a certain situation was going on, they could inconvenience everybody else and effectively shut down any form of transportation. Why do we wait 4 more years for a new complete leader? Because it takes time for a leader to enact a policy. Do you think that we should elect the president? How often do you think we should elect the president? Once a week? Because this has been less than a year. I think that what's really revealing about this type of argumentation is the amount of mental gymnastics that are needed in order to justify such a very, very ridiculous thing. See, whenever you have... This is my viewpoint, is that whenever you have a sound, reasonable, logical, rational position on things, you don't need to really talk around stuff. You just apply that reasoning to the new thing. I don't completely disagree with you. I just think something can be more mutual. I would say bi-yearly. So you think that we should elect the new president every 6 months. Is that correct? because that's bi-yearly. Or and I mean, or do you mean 2 months or two? Sorry, not. You mean 2 years? Yeah. Does that mean 2 years or every 6 months? Every 2 years. Oh, okay. Every 2 years. All right. Why? Is there any rationale for that, or are you just inventing a term? Why? Why 2 years? Also, by the way, age limits, more ability to make immediate change, and no means and no means of dominating control. It's utopian, but there has to be something better. I don't agree with you. I don't think that there's anything wrong with this, and I actually think that the way that you're advocating is actually the way that things actually work. So you're talking about every 2 years. Well, if you look at Senate and House representatives, we do effectively have elections every 2 years. So they're called the midterms. Mid means middle. Middle of 4 is 2. So we have that. I see. So and again, like, this is because anything more than 2 years allows for more control and opportunity. Okay, well then, based off of that logic, wouldn't 1 year be better because you'd have less control and less opportunity even then? Like, there's no thinking about this, right? And so this is the point that I'm making, right? Yeah, 1 day presidency, right? Yeah, everybody gets it. Yeah, it's a new, yes, somebody gets to wear the hat every day. And so basically there's no logic. Yeah, and this is the problem, right? Is that, can you see the amount of, like, mental contortions that you're having to use my personal opinion? Like, what I'm saying is that the amount of mental contortions that people have to do in order to justify this rationale and this behavior, I think, is very revealing of whether the rationale and the behavior is good or not. I think that's an extremely revealing thing. Because if you have to go through all of these gymnastics to justify bad behavior, at a certain point, you've got to think to yourself, maybe this is bad behavior. Yeah, the problem with Democratic Republic is that it's not efficient. Well, I mean, nothing is going to be efficient all the time, every case. 2 years isn't enough for real laws to end up becoming effective because before effectively potentially switching between parties, not allowing people time to see what works. I think that you can make a lot of arguments for that either way, but ultimately, like, changing term limits isn't going to change the way that people are going to necessarily see ICE, for example. Shorter is actually worse. Well, it depends, right? I mean, should it be 5 or 10 years then for each presidency? It really depends. So yeah, if you can't yield that saying that people shouldn't be on the road, then you're the problem. Well, and this is the problem, is like, people think that they deserve immediate relief. The entire idea that you deserve the government to instantly listen to you is massively presumptuous, completely entitled, and totally unfair. And if you thought that you could take everything to a grinding halt because you don't like the way that things are going at this exact moment, if everybody else thought that, nothing would work ever. And this is the problem that I think a lot of people have, is that it's actually not true that this is a value. This is a self-serving principle that only works in the context of it achieving their own goals. And I think that's the way it works. A person shouldn't be on the road. Yeah, of course. But a sufficiently supported organized group and convenience is better than the violent alternative. Well, that's not... So like, what is the logic here? Is the logic that, well, we will not respect the... we're not going to respect the federal government. And there are two ways that you can deal with us not respecting the federal government. You can either obey us and do what we want and allow us to do whatever we want, or we're going to try to kill you. Does that really seem like a good way to do things? And this is the problem that I have with a lot of these people, is that this is always... It's logic that begins with a conclusion. Because you never apply this thinking to other situations, or how would it work if other people did this. You never think about that. Because it's completely self-centered. It's completely entitled around what it is. So that's it. Seems like terrorists, that's not a choice. Yes, exactly. To be clear, you're not saying people shouldn't be allowed to protest, right? You're just saying that they shouldn't inconvenience the public. I think that if you want to protest, and you should not be able to break the law while you're protesting. Being sufficiently aggrieved by what the government is doing does not give you the right to violate the law, to destroy property, to prevent people from getting to their job, to scream at people and harass them, to hit people, to be violent, to do anything like that. So just because you're angry at the government, no amount of that justifies that behavior. Throw rocks at people, set things on fire. You can't do that. Yeah, your freedom ends where other people's begin. Yes, everybody has the freedom to use the roads. They're a public space. And so if you take somebody else's freedom away by standing in the road, well, at that point, you're no longer protesting. You're oppressing a person. So yeah, it's that simple. But anyway, yeah, I could go back and forth about this and explain this a million times. But yeah, that's it. Wait, so Rosa Parks protested wrong. I hate to be that guy, but she broke the law at the wrong time, though. I'm not even going to engage. Like, so Rosa Parks broke the law at the wrong time. The difference with Rosa Parks breaking the law is that, number one, Rosa Parks broke the law by explicitly protesting that specific law. She did. She protested that specific law. And also, there's the premise that you think that you're Rosa Parks to begin with. You're not Rosa Parks. And in a lot of cases, if you want to use that logic and that argumentation, is that Martin Luther King even said himself that blocking traffic is not something that he wanted to do because he thought that it would alienate people and it would be counterproductive. You can look this up and find it for yourself. So really, if the only argument that you had is that, well, there's one person in the past that happened and it was good, I think that you can find 50 other people in the past where it happened and it was bad. So you shouldn't look at the one case where it worked. You should look at the average of when it worked and when it didn't work. And so again, you're arriving at you've already been at a conclusion and you're trying to arrive at the logic that reaches the conclusion. So that's it. Yeah, there's a lot of people, and there's been a lot of people that have tried to protest against laws and cause problems and issues, and it was a bad issue. It didn't help. It's confirmation about it. Yeah, tons of people did that. Rosa Parks' husband's had a car, just saying. Well, I understand that Rosa Parks was like, I wouldn't really say it was a psyop, right? But it was like very obviously like a structured protest that was planned, right? And I think it's a good thing, but again, and I think this is also, again, it's revealing of like the rationale that these people have is that they're thinking about it in terms of them being protesting civil rights. You're not protesting civil rights. You're not fighting for people's civil rights whenever you're trying to advocate for drug dealers to stay in the country or illegal aliens to stay in the country. What do you do when the government just ignores protests, though? Like in immigration in the UK, without creating inconvenience to the government, can just ignore it? Well, the government is ignoring the protests here in, well, it's not ignoring them. The fact is that the popular vote went to Donald Trump. Donald Trump won the majority of the vote. You know, that's it. So the entire idea of being ignored is just simply not true. You're not being ignored, you just simply lost. The English people get ignored. This will be my last point on this, and I want to move on. The UK, I think that whenever you talk about a lot of other like random cases or something like that, what ends up happening is that, like in other countries, I can't advocate for how you should solve problems in other countries because other countries sometimes don't actually have representation. So, for example, I think a violent revolution makes a lot more sense in a country that is a dictatorship because you don't have the ability to use the systems that exist in order to remedy your problems. But the issue is that in a lot of these places, people want to think that they're a majority, but they're actually not. So I'm in Uganda. Yeah, UK immigrants, somebody is here. Yeah, exactly. So like really that's the reason why, like, for example, the Boston Tea Party happened. And like people see that as a good thing. It's because there was no other recourse to make that change. You see my point? So like you can't just go and tell King George, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. Let's have a vote on whether we can do, have taxation on tea or not. No, so there was no ability for people to ever vote on it or to have any voice at all. And I think that's the reason why you have voting, is so you can avoid violent revolutions. So yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, this is voted through here. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think we need violent revolution in the UK. Starmer's fucking Nazi. I mean, I wouldn't advocate for that. I wouldn't, and I don't think anybody should. I think that everybody that wants a violent revolution has never been part of a violent revolution. I think it's one of those things where it sounds really good and it feels really good, but it's not something that's actually good. It's like it's a fantasy that people have. And let me go back over here if I can find a few more of these and look at anything else. But yeah. Protest relevance can be increased by prolongation rather than intensity. Protests and patience don't usually go hand in hand. Well, I mean, that's the way it is, right? Trump said he might tell Putin. Oh, Trump said he might. Yeah, okay, so then it doesn't really matter, right? Who gives a shit? So we have I have no idea whether that's the case or not. I have no clue, but I'd have to wait and see and find out. And let's see if I can find any more of these posts here, if there's anything else interesting. And you see Nobel Peace Prize winner thank Trump? I did see that, actually, I did. The problem with revolution is that no one plans for afterwards. Well, I think that a lot of people just, they want that because it's just better for them. Scientists in Japan have created a drug that lets humans regrow lost teeth.
That's dope.
Yeah, I've heard that 50 fucking times. I've heard that too many times to believe it. I'm sorry to say, guys. It's over. The amount of times that people have said something like that, I do not fucking think so. Okay, like, I'm not gonna get into that. It's not for me. So yeah, one day maybe that would happen, but yeah, I don't know. They're back to throwing paint on priceless paintings again. Maybe. I haven't seen that. You'd have to show it to me. But yeah, that's it. Just a little late. Protests aren't meant for the government to hear your case. It's meant for people to hear it. Saying the government ignores your protest doesn't mean anything. Well, I think it's both. But I mean, and also, like, ideally the people are the government, right? So like it's kind of one and the same, but it really depends. I don't really know. I have no idea. But let me go back over. I'll see if I can find a few more of these here. But I did kind of want to try and play a little bit more Battlefield today. I don't really know why, but I feel like I should keep going and keep trying because I want to get better at the game. But I'm just, I'm having a hard time. And what is this here? Blue Sky has collapsed. Is Blue Sky actually dead? Well, I guess it probably is. I mean, I wouldn't really be that surprised about that. But yeah, there you go. And as long as you have fun, yeah, bro. Like, I always just play like a rat. I think I might have to, right? I mean, that's what's going to have to happen. But yeah, I'm just reading a few of these posts here. But I don't know whether these are only true or not. Why MMOs are no longer fun? I'm gonna watch this. Guarantee you, I'm gonna watch that shit. But yeah, and go back over. I'll look at this. Why would people listen to you if you're acting like a violent criminal? Exactly. Yeah, I think that throwing a fit and causing a bunch of problems, this is something that I think it will alienate a lot of people because they just don't want to have to deal with a world like that. They don't want to live in a world like that. And I don't think that most people do. Now, maybe some of them do, but overall, I think generally not really. So, Actman video about Xbox? Yeah, we'll see what happens. Please play New World tomorrow. I know a lot of people want me to play New World tomorrow. Like, I've been actually surprised at how many people have been positive about it and asking me about it. You know what? Now I'm actually really considering playing it because there's been so many people asking, and I think it's probably maybe it'll be fun for a day. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's it. Do you move the U.S. government or the right-wing plant agitators into left? Government plants agitators into protests. Yeah, I'm sure it happens. I mean, I don't think it should happen, by the way. And I think anybody that advocates for that should be, like, fired, right, from the government position. They should be absolutely fired. But in general, no, I don't think so. So yeah, most of the videos are some soy boy getting arrested or some fat woman talking down to everyone. The people that live day to day just see it and we shake our heads. Yeah, I think that's the case in a lot of things. You're right. And started playing New World a month ago. I'm having a blast. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll try it out. You could play it, please, but don't ruin the servers. Oh, no, I'm going to ruin the servers for sure. See a new Moist Critical video? I've heard that people are mad about
I remember
it.
growing up.
Is this what it is? I have no idea. Normal streamers start commenting on politics. Party told to reject evidence. What is this here? Yeah, the Qatari air base, etc. Yeah, I'd have to go back and see if I can find it. But is this the Qatari air base thing? I'm not going to look at it right now. Oh, the Trump store. There's definitely that. Where's a few more of these? Agents on January 6th. Sure. Where is this here? Oh, I see. This is about the fucking crypto thing. Yeah, that was bad. Definitely. This critical is going full Livcock. Well, I don't know about that. I'd have to go back and see it. I mean, in general, like, I do support pretty much everything that he's done. I mean, minus like a handful of things. Like, there's, I would say, like, I've supported probably 80% of things that Trump has done. Maybe a little bit less, but somewhere around there. And, you know, maybe it's a little bit higher. I don't really know. I'd have to think about it. So, yeah. Go try not the asthma. Switch to politics. See how it goes off. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to go back and find it. Please watch it. He's going crazy. He's calling people MAGA and cultists. I think that there are a lot of... I don't think he's entirely wrong about that, right? I mean, like, there are a lot of people that are Trump supporters that behave like cultists. I think that's true. But I don't think that that's something that's unique to Trump supporters. I think that that's true with, you know, Kamala voters. It was true with them. It's true with everything. Nobody has a monopoly on being delusional. And that's generally what I think it is. It's bad on both sides. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, and I think with Trump, I think that one of the reasons why it's like more extreme with Trump is because of the fact that he got arrested and they tried to put him in jail. So like people have like a persecution complex with him that doesn't, wow, it's a Q, holy shit. There's a persecution complex that's existing, and I think that that enables people to become more extreme. I should use faster guns in the game. That's the reason why I'm losing. You're right. I think you're totally right about that. Yep, it's faster guns. I've got to just get faster guns, guys. How about the anti-introduction law with more than 2 million per street? What do you think? I don't know anything about that. I mean, I'm sorry to say, I can't know everything about everything. Yeah, it's weird he talks mainly about MAGA, but not the left, which are a lot more violent. It comes off as dishonest, in my opinion. A lot of commentators, and I'm not making a criticism of Charlie here, I'm just talking about it in general. A lot of commentators don't want to get involved with politics in like a serious way, because it's kind of like a bridges burn situation where as soon as you do that, people are always going to see you that way. And like, to me, I don't really give a shit. Like, I don't care how people see me. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to say and do whatever the hell I want. But in general, try out Tarkov full release in December. Yeah, I probably will, actually. I will. Charlie Zeta thinks kids should transition. Well, he said that's not what he meant, right? I mean, you can say he's lying or something like that, but he said that's not what he meant to say. Doxing and death threats don't help. Yeah, I think so. And he made the video to compensate for attacking Hassan. I mean, I can't read people's minds, right? I mean, I have no idea. But I do think that people... Okay, this is... Yeah, I'm going to use this gun. Okay. Let's do it. You, the die fencer, live long enough to take a side. Yeah, a lot of people do not... Wait, wait, I can just drive it. Wait, I am the tank. Oh, shit. I don't know what to do. Okay, we're gonna go over to D.